Man, that looks really good. Let's pull some of the shadows, pull some of the highlights, pull some of those darks out, and just kind of get it where we want it. Hey, what's up, dream doers? We are back with another video, another preset video. So we're gonna jump into the Fuji Everyday Pack. Once again, incredible pack. These guys have it dialed in from the get-go. It's one of the best that I've seen out of the box. Like, don't touch it. Mastin Labs, don't touch it. It's so good. So anyway, jump in with me. We're gonna do some editing and chit chat, and I always try to answer any questions that you have below. So make sure and post those here in the comments, and if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're waiting on. Let's jump into some live edits with the Mastin Labs Fuji Everyday Pack for Lightroom. All right, let's go. Okay, so we are back in Lightroom, and I know that was a cringy little transition there. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying my best here, and man, am I missing some photos? Oh, maybe not. Here we go. All right, so we are back in Lightroom. I have pulled some old, some newish, some all kinds of different cameras, and we are gonna jump in here. I tell you what, I'm having a hard time with something. You guys are gonna have to help me on this a little bit. I'm having a really hard time with making these videos short. This is probably the hardest thing ever. So anyway, let's get right to it. I am seriously in love with this pack, and I just want to jump in and real quick just hit some of these kind of everyday shots and some ones. Here's some from Bali, Hotel Alila here in Bali. Incredible place. If you're ever in the Uluwatu area, it's an incredible place to stay, and I would highly recommend it. So anyway, just a cool shot. One of the videographers, my buddy Scott, right there, that traveled with me. See the before and after. Bam! You can just see you're just getting these rich tones and textures out of this. You can always, if the greens are pulling a little bit too much saturation, which they may for me, you can kind of bring down that slider just a little bit. But I mean, once again, just a few moments and quick clicks, and you're good to go. Next one, this one just sums up the Bali lifestyle. You're getting gasoline out of glass Coke bottles for our little scooters, and yeah, this is definitely going Superior 400. Has that summertimey vibe, super punchy, contrasty, and just gives you a good look. Let's see what it looks like with Scott cropped out of there, his shirtless self. Yeah, I kind of like that. Focuses in, shows you the fine apothecary selections going on there of the Bali gas. And then there's my buddy, the other videographer on our team, Seth, who was shooting on the team on the wedding there in Bali. And cool story, I actually shot this dude's wedding, and there's Seth right there, who was an actor and a model for a little bit, so he modeled for us on a couple shots here. I was gonna see what this looked like in acros, and I'm kind of really digging the texture of that shot. Man, that looks really good. Let's pull some of the shadows, put some of the highlights, pull some of those darks out, and just kind of get it where we want it. I know I'm messing around with these a little bit more, but as you begin to use presets, you kind of find out how you like to use them. And I always recommend taking a preset and kind of just making your own preset out of it, and that's the best way to do it. All right, let's look at the before and after. Okay, just a flat raw image, and then you've got this nice gritty textury. Seriously, acros is so good, you guys. It's super good. All right, here's the shot. This was actually Thailand, so this is another wedding that I was shooting in Thailand. Overexposed. What I was trying to do is make sure you get it color and exposure on the rock, but also get this here
which is in the background there, and we can pull some highlights in there a little bit. And yeah, that's looking really good. Let's crop that other boat out and bring us in a little bit closer. And I'm liking that. Just super nice vibes. Good contrast, good filmy feel. Okay, we are back in there. Sorry, got a phone call. Should have put this phone on airplane mode, but it was my wife, so, you know, hey babe, if you're watching, I love you. And I literally stopped everything I was doing just to pick up the phone to hear your voice. She probably doesn't even watch these anymore. Anyhow, here we are. We're back in Thailand, James Bond Island, and definitely getting some of those good filmy vibes coming off of this photo here. Man, just a couple clicks. Let's leave it at that. Love it. Love just the texture of everything and the color, and just that gritty look. Here's one from where the hotel I was staying at, the Le Meridian in Phuket, Thailand, and yeah, loving the rich tropical vibes of this one. Got a little bit of aberration going on in the leaves. If you don't know what that is, sometimes it's just some of this little ghosting that goes on, as you can see up in there. One easy quick way to fix that is to go down and you know do this, and you can kind of do some lens calibration, and that'll work. If it doesn't pull out in there, you can always come into your saturation and select that certain color. That's definitely got a purplish vibe to it, and just pull that out, and that looked like it did trick for the most part. And there we go, we're looking pretty good. I love the rich tropical tones that we're getting in here. That looks super good. So that's a fun one. Here's a before and after. Just one or two clicks, guys. So as you can tell, I'm loving acros, and this shot, usually if I compose something like this in my mind, I'm wanting to make it square. So let's go ahead and make it square. One thing to keep in mind is always keep your eyes on those horizon lines. Make sure those are nice and lined up over there. And let's pull this guy in superior, drop the exposure to where it needs to be. And light's a little flat on this one. I'm wondering what it would look like in acros, and that looks a little cooler. I like that. That looks really good. Add a little bit of texture in there. Probably in that 10 to 20 range is usually pretty good. Pull the highlights out. Pull some of those shadows out. And I'm going to bump exposure back up just a little bit. Get a little more light in there. So there's your before and after. Just a nice, smooth, minimal looking photo. Here's a gorgeous couple from the wedding that I shot in Thailand, and this one is definitely just a cool ethereal look. It looks like they're in the clouds or something. This is actually the ocean and some sea foam, and then the sky in the background. And I love the skin tones that we're getting with these presets. Definitely just has that filmy vibe, you know. And we just touched up the exposure a little bit and the highlights a tiny bit, and we cropped it, and man, we're looking really good. Look at that, you guys. Just love the pop of skin tone, and just it's just filmy, you guys. It's looking really good. All right, here's a wedding, a shot up in wine country, Sebastopol, Northern California. And I was really thinking this would look good black and white. The sky's really blown out. I mean, we could definitely, let's see how blown out it actually is. Not too bad. We could definitely pull that back in if we wanted to. That'll kind of help a little bit. And let's get some good tweaks on these. Once again, we're not always putting this much time in every photograph, but you know, for the sake of the tutorial, we will kind of go through it. And here we go. Let's add a little bit of texture, just kind of give it a little bit of grit, and there you go, guys. Before and after. Once again, I'm having a hard time keeping these videos short, and I'm already at like too long. So anyway, here's a wedding. This is up in Napa wine country. Once again, let's go to Acros, and this is as I mentioned before, this is kind of becoming my go-to for black and white. And those of you that have actually shot film, if you've shot Kodak Tri-X, and if you've shot Pan F, so if you've shot Kodak Tri-X and then Ilford Pan F, you will know that those are kind of two opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, Tri-X has a really flat look, Pan F has a really poppy, contrasty look, and I would say that Acros is kind of right in the middle of the two, and you're gonna get some photos that look like this with Acros, and man, it's just dreamy. And the grain looks great printed, looks great digitally. And here's another one from the same wedding, and this couple actually can't show you her face. She had a little bit of a profile, I guess you could say. She was one of those tech people in the Bay Area, we'll just put it that way. Anyway, I want to pull the greens out a little bit of that, and then let's drop the exposure back down. And these look like Canon files, and one thing that I used to do with Canon was shoot overexposed. Not sure why exactly I was doing it at the time, what presets I was using at the time, but that's one thing that you will learn to do as you develop your style, as you just get comfortable with the different presets that you're using. You'll begin to say, you know what, man, in this certain flat lighting condition, when I process these files, they look really good when they're overexposed, or they look really bad when they're underexposed, and then you'll kind of go from there. So I love how punchy these fall colors just pop out in this photo with Superia. That looks really, really killer, you guys. All right, here's a wedding in Santa Barbara. Definitely feeling some Acros vibes on that. Oh man, that looks so good. Love the shadows, the palm tree, the light. There's just kind of mystery on this one. And let's just crop it because I got a little Type A running in me. And we're just gonna crop and just get that door frame looking nice and straight. Man, that's really, really popping, you guys. And you can always mess with some of the black and white mix, and kind of get the skin tones looking, you know, give them a little bit more in there. Let's pull that the red slider a little bit, give that a little bit, but I love the mystery of that photo. So that one, shooting it, you knew it was gonna look good in black and white. All right, here's a little minimal photo of a single palm tree in somebody's rack of somebody's car going on there. Let's keep that right in the third, and we will just leave it right there. And we are gonna go Fuji Color C200. All right, that's looking pretty cool, guys. I dig it. Great, just like minimal look, and you can always mess with the exposure, tweak it around, pull it around. And that's just a fun one. All right, here's one, same wedding. I wanted to see what Superia and C200 look like. And man, for weddings, if you're going for this punchy look and just want to add, you know, just contrast, you know, I really like this. I would pull the greens down just a tiny bit, not much, but that's like one click, guys. One click and then a little adjustment on the greens, and bam, you are right in the business. Oh man, yummy film tones. And no, I'm not referencing the Justin Bieber song. Okay, this one would look really cool in Acros, but I'm actually going to keep it in color, just because these rich colors are looking so good. And this one, definitely want to pull the shadow slider out a little bit so you can see what's going on over here a little bit more. And one click, one adjustment, and boom, you've got something that looks very film-esque. I don't know if that's a word. If it is not, I just made it up. And this is up in Santa Barbara. Okay, here's a couple fun veil photos. I thought these would look really cool in Acros, and just kind of start seeing how they look, and then messing with the exposure a little bit. Definitely want to add some texture. and you can always crop those. Let's see how this one looks. This one's got a little bit more of the blue tones in it. Let's see how it looks in Superior. Man, that looks really, really good, you guys. I'm really digging these presets. They're super fun. One thing that I didn't really mess with them too much, but was some dance floor photos. And I was like, you know what? I think these would look really fun on the dance floor. And bam, there we go. One click, you guys. Just, I love the grit that it brings to this. This is just super fun. You can always mess with the shadows and kind of pull those out and soften it up a little bit. But just one click, you guys go from here to something that's got some life and some grit to it, and definitely you could even bring it into Acros and have some fun with it. Nighttime photos with flash. Here's Acros. Kind of definitely would need a little bit of a pop in the exposure, but that gives you an idea of what it would look like on the dance floor. Just having some fun. And here's one, just a portrait. We were doing some window light portraits. I thought this would look fun in Acros, and just pulling the exposure down, really bringing some drama to it. Let's just kind of crop it in a little bit more, and bam, there you go, guys. Just getting some detail on the veil, the dress, the hair, everything. Just kind of that pensive moment, a classical look. So there you have it. There's 20 photos, and that did not take that long, and you just get a good idea of what these everyday presets are looking like, you guys. They're just great. They're great for travel. They're great if you like a style that's got some punch and some pop to it, and you know, takes your skin tones from just kind of a boring look to something that's got a little bit of a pop, and taking your backgrounds from something that's just a little bit of a drab and washed out to something that's got a little bit of pop. So it's a really fun preset pack. And I tell you what, guys, if I was just to buy this for the black and white preset Acros 100, my computer's about to die, it would totally be worth it. It's so good. Acros is just that good. All right, guys, let's jump out of here and wrap this up.
And that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was a lot of fun. I got to edit some fun photos, and of course edit this fun video as well. But tell me, guys, are there any presets out there that you want to see? I do have some that are kind of sitting in my inbox that are waiting to get reviewed, that a few companies have sent me. I have done Replicom in the past, I've done Visco in the past, but I can do some of the new ones. Right now I'm waiting. There's the classic presets that I'll be doing a review on. The classic everyday, I think it's called their everyday or the travel pack. There's some really good ones in there, and also another company called Tribe, and I'm going to be reviewing their Summit presets. And we use some of their presets for Olive Drew, my wife's clothing company. So if you followed us over there, that's the pack that we use for a lot of the editing on those photos. So anyway, looking forward to those, but always, if you have more, or if you have questions that you want to see reviewed here, or just wedding, portrait, photo business stuff in general, let's go. I'd love to serve you guys any way possible. All right, hey, keep dreaming, keep doing, keep growing as a photographer, as a filmmaker, as a creative, wherever you're at. Just keep growing. Be a dream doer. We'll see you guys in the next one.